It's time for Dart Talk. Brought to you by TheDartZone.com. Stay in the zone. TheDartZone.com is an official Cosmo distributor and Windy City Fabricators, America's premier fabricators of orthotics and prosthetics, and Redwood Darts, America's newest tungsten darts. Stand straight and tall and hit them all. Redwood Darts. And now, here are your hosts, Mystery Mark and Steve P.
Okay, welcome to Dart Talk.
How you doing? Rough evening?
October 9th, 2012. Steve Poundselman with Mystery Mark. How you doing?
I'm fine. How are you?
I'm good. How was your weekend?
Not too bad. Nothing too exciting. Good Bears win. Too chilly for golf, apparently, so I didn't really do much.
Bail on the golf, did you?
I did. I didn't. I foursome bailed, so I wasn't going out there as a single.
I just don't see it. When it gets so cold and you can't score on the greens, I don't see the point of playing unless you just want some exercise.
Because you don't have many rounds left. Yeah.
Playing a dart tournament.
Yeah, and then I felt like watching a Bears game, so I didn't go out there. Which apparently I should have.
3-3 at the half.
Yeah, 6-3.
6-3 at the half?
It was a terrible first half. But
41-3?
Yeah.
2 pick sixes. All our Jacksonville fans,
sorry.
You have our condolences. It's not like we've never lost. We're brought to you by the Dart Zone.
Stay in the zone.
TheDartZone.com is an official Cosmo distributor also. Thank you, Windy City Fabricators and Redwood Darts. We've got a lot to get to.
Yes, we do. I think.
We have results. The Denver Open and the U.S. Team Nationals were last weekend in Denver, Colorado.
All right.
Or the Colorado Open. Did I say Denver
You
Open?
did say the Denver Open.
I'm having a bad day. You know what? Let's do the disclaimer before I speak and
it's
say
even
anything
printed
else.
on the paper, Denver Open.
Well, you have the paper, not me.
The views and opinions expressed by guests on Dart Talk do not necessarily reflect the thoughts or opinions of the hosts, our sponsors, any official Dart sanctioning organization, and post hoc ergo propter hoc, any and all spelunkers, debunkers, raconteurs, roustabouts, technocrats, hepcats, cat ladies, Lady Gaga, the Four Seasons, the Three Stooges, the Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences, hipsters, kibitzers, hellions, the fickle finger of fate, or Tom Waits.
Okay.
At least we got that out of the way.
Exculpatory disclaimer. Thank you, Melissa.
Did you say ergo?
Ergo propter hoc.
Okay.
That's Latin. So, therefore,
I stopped listening after ergo.
Yeah, by the way, we love you guys in the chat room, but we're probably not going to be able to follow the chat. Somehow, Ustream changed
everything,
the way they do things. So we used to be able to just have the pop-out chat where Mark could kind of read it when he had a chance. But now we can't do it without streaming the show back to us, which doesn't really work from a bandwidth standpoint. So we're going to have to bail on the chat. If you want to get something to us, post it on the Facebook Dart Talk page, and we'll see it there. Because that, I think we can follow relatively easily. So you guys do that if you don't mind. If you guys can feel free to chat amongst yourselves and whatnot. But if you want something, oh my gosh, if you want to get something that needs our immediate attention, just post it on the Dart Talk Facebook page and we'll get going. So okay, we have results.
I can't imagine how that's going to happen. They need
because
our immediate attention.
It used to be the chat. You could chat on Facebook. It said social stream,
right,
and then you could kind of chat on everything. And now I don't know what they're doing. So sorry about that. I think they changed it a half hour before the show just to irritate me.
Probably,
and it worked.
Because you're irritated. Yes. All right. So after results, what else we got going?
Well, let me tell you, this weekend is probably the best weekend of American darts of the year.
Okay.
We've got, I don't know how many guys, 10 guys and 2 women are going to play in England at the Winmaw Masters. And then we have the New World Dart Series where I think...
In Dayton?
Yeah, in Dayton, Ohio. So you're going to have 24 of the top 40 in the NAPTA rankings playing long format 501, round robin Saturday, long format knockout on Sunday. And for the people in the West Coast, not counting Howard Myers and Chris White, who are a couple of the guys that are in England, they got the San Francisco Open. I believe.
All right.
Something in San Francisco. So
Some dart tournament here.
if you're not playing darts this weekend, you're a total lamer. However,
Okay.
for the total lamers,
Yes.
you can follow the Winmaw Masters online. I believe it's going to be on Watch ESPN or what used to be ESPN 3.
ESPN 3, yeah.
And they're going to live stream the Dayton tournament starting Friday night where they pick the round robin groups
All right.
and stuff like that. So kind of going to make our show next week sort of redundant, but we'll do it anyway.
Okay.
Because
Well,
we're
because
professionals.
there's always something to look forward
Well,
to.
we're professionals, and we're all about, showing up even if nobody else does.
Plus, we want to see how many problems we can incur within an hour.
Well, I wish you wouldn't have said that, because let me tell you, the problems we're incurring today are sort of unprecedented. Not sort of, they are unprecedented. Can we go to a commercial already?
We can, if you wish.
Let me. I want to check one thing. So we're going to take like a 20-second commercial, and then we will be. Okay, and we're back. Brought to you by the Dart Zone.
Stay in the zone.
TheDartZone.com is an official Cosmo distributor.
So you've been screwing around with this all evening. What did you do this afternoon?
This afternoon, I watched part of the tournament in Ireland, the Party Poker Grand Prix, which is a one of a kind.
What was that on? NBC?
No, that was it was on the internet until suddenly it disappeared.
All right.
Can you say bootleg? Yeah, in the middle of the match, all of a sudden it was just like zit,
It
they
was
pulled
gone.
the plug. Yeah.
Nice.
Copyright violation. I shouldn't probably say that on the show, but yeah, well.
It's too late now.
But it was interesting because, we did the thing, the segment on building the perfect darter.
Yeah.
And one of the English guys actually must have listened to the show because I've never seen this guy look so good in my life.
Really?
Steve Beaton, the bronze Adonis, absolutely looked fantastic.
And you're
in his
assuming it's
match.
because he was listening to the show. All right.
What else could it possibly
yeah.
be? I
I'll
know he
go
won a
with that.
world championship 10 or 15 years ago, but if anybody had a chance to watch this guy throw, he just looked so easy and so relaxed and just la-di-da-di-da. I think he missed he was 80% on his doubles at one point.
Wow.
Through 3 or 4 ton 80s and 5 or 6 ton 40s in 7 legs. This tournament is cool because it's double in 501.
Double, okay.
Right? They play, and the first round is kind of like a quick format. You have to win 2 sets out of 3, and the sets are best of 5.
Okay.
So it's alternate start.
Right.
So if you win the diddle, you get to start
3 out of 5.
Well, yeah.
If it goes
in the
that
first
far.
and third sets.
Right.
Yeah. So there's no tiebreaker, no win by 2. So there were some guys really missing some doubles to win there. And I watched it yesterday too. So you had, it's only the top 32 players, or the top 30 plus a couple of qualifiers, whatever it is. So I got a kick out of watching that, and I had, I had a couple of things to say. I mean, I took issue with somebody. I forget who it was. It might have been Richard Ashdown was saying how Dave Chisnell is going to be like the next big thing. And I was on the show like a couple of months ago being like, why would you say that?
Right.
Phil Taylor played some kid and he looked kind of like Baby Huey. He was really young. He was like 21, 22, huge kid. And, he took a couple of legs off Phil and made Phil work.
Yeah.
I mean, Phil wasn't messing around. I mean, Phil was really like, I think he averaged close to 100, which on a double-in start's very
good. Yeah.
And the kid was right on him in almost every leg. So that was pretty impressive. But the one guy, Chizzy being the next big thing, I mean, we'll see. I wasn't too impressed by that. He beat Taylor last year in the World Championship.
Okay.
So naturally he's going to get some hype.
Yeah.
But we're not about hype on this show. We're about, telling the truth. And the truth is, the one guy that was really impressive in the first 2 days of the Grand Prix was Wes Newton.
Okay.
Got blitzed at the beginning. He's playing Ronnie Baxter, who's been around forever. He's been a pro since the 80s. And I think Baxter won the first 5 legs. So he's up a set, 1 leg away from winning, and Newton beat him.
Wow.
Because Newton won the next 6 legs. Which, and he did it in relatively,
easy fashion.
Well, not easy, but I mean, he played really, really well. And, I don't know, I was impressed by that. So, Wes Newton's been around now for a couple of years, and he's been kind of stalled, climbing up the rankings.
Yeah.
And, maybe a match like this will put him over the top, where, he's playing an experienced pro who's playing well, and he hangs tough. And he beats him. Remember, he was the guy I ripped on at the beginning of the year because he blasted everybody on Facebook.
Yeah, I do remember that.
He was like throwing, making fun of the guy who was playing real slow.
Yeah.
Justin Pipe, who I watched him play yesterday, and I just started cringing. I mean,
because he's so slow.
It's not that he's slow. I think he was having a hard time, and when he misses, I mean, it looks spastic.
Really?
I mean, it just looks like you talk about a guy with a high maintenance stroke. I mean, when this guy misses, I mean, you can't sometimes tell what he even aimed at.
Oh,
I mean, he's missed. Nice. He missed some darts by a mile, and it's really kind of funny. They have great camera coverage for these tournaments, right? So the guys on the double bull, they zoom in on the double bull, and then no dart.
You hear a thunk, but nothing
because the guy missed the bull by like an inch and a half, and I'm like, okay. That's gonna require some ribbing.
Yeah.
In the players' lounge. Like,
well,
I was looking for that bull and I never saw it. What happened? I thought that was kind of funny. But Steve Beaton, if anybody can find his match today on YouTube, you want to see a guy really stroking with ease and with impeccable technique. You talk about throwing a proper dart. And just everything, just dead center and la-di-da-di-da. I mean, obviously, he missed a dart here or there, but he played outstanding.
Right.
And demolished a very solid professional. So, I don't know.
So it was entertaining.
Yeah.
Kinda.
I really liked that format. I like this double-in 501 deal.
Yeah.
It's like for a once-a-year thing. I mean, I'm not a big fan of 301, but they were interviewing, some of the players before the tournament. These guys are like, well, I grew up playing 301, and, double in, double out, no big deal, right? And some of these guys looked absolutely like they were thrown up in their mouth a little bit.
Yeah.
Like Mark Webster looked horrible. He kind of had this, little lunge going, and I'm like, where did this come from?
Because he's put so much pressure on himself to hit the double in?
Well, some guys are doubling in on the 10.
Yeah.
Which, for the life of me, I think I know 2 guys in my entire dart career, which is going on 11 years now, where I saw them double in on the 10 or the 15. I mean, it just doesn't make any sense.
Right.
And then there's a huge bonus to throw a 9-dart game.
Okay.
And you can't really do it going in on the 32.
Right.
So most everybody's going in on double
Tops.
And here's this Australian guy going in on double 10, and it just doesn't look right to me. So I don't know. So
As long as you win, I guess it doesn't matter.
he didn't win.
Well, so then it matters.
Well, yeah. Of course it matters. All right, we're going to take a break. They're saying the sound is bad.
Yeah.
So I don't know what we can do about it.
If you turn the gang down anymore, we're going to have to yell.
Yeah, let us take another break. We'll see if we can't figure something out here, and we'll be right back. All right, and we are back, brought to you by the Dart Zone.
Stay in the zone.
TheDartZone.com is an official Cosmo distributor. Also, thanks Windy City Fabricators and Redwood Darts. If the sound is not coming in good, we're sorry. I don't know that I can do anything else now, so we're just going to have to try to get through the show. I'll try to clean up the audio in the post, and we'll see what happens. I don't know if Ustream changed some stuff or not today.
Yeah, we're not doing anything differently.
I don't know.
I don't think so.
I don't know. It's sort of depressing. Well, no, because I was really excited because this is the best weekend of darts we're going to have all year, and I can't get the sound on the show right. So I it's not like I'm going to be on suicide watch or anything, but
let's hope not.
It's kind of depressing. Anyway, we do have results. Let's do the results from the Colorado Open, and then we'll talk about the misery of the U.S. Team Nationals.
All right. Well, let's go with the Colorado Open results of the blind draw doubles. Third and fourth goes to Tim Chevron, Conley Litton, Joe Cheney, and Phil Sroka. Second place goes to Donnie Joe and Bob Meininger. And first goes to Shannon Cullen and Sam Vaquera. Mixed triples 701. Third and fourth, Glenn Golden, Morgan McCormick, and Sam Vaquera. Elliot Milk and Megan Gray and John Gray. Second goes to Donnie Joe and Marlise Keel, Bill Davis. First place, Larry Butler, Marilyn Pop, and Darren Young. Women's doubles 501. Top four goes to Laura Mauser and Janie Ramos.
Lara.
Oh, sorry. Mauser and Janie Ramos.
I really love correcting you on the names.
I know you
man. I could just see how nervous you get.
Claudia Itchin and Cindy Schreffler. Second place goes to Jennifer Ellert and Kay Hoover, and first place goes to Marilyn Pop and Sandy Hudson. Men's doubles 501, top four A's, Telemantes and Wes Lippert, Troy McMahon and Mike Roundtree. Second goes to John Sisson and Ken Weaver, with Tom Sawyer and Joe Cheney winning men's doubles 501. Women's singles 501, top four Marilyn Pop, Kay Hoover, Chris Sams second, and Paula Murphy first. Men's
Queen
singles.
Paula. All right.
Men's singles 501, third and fourth, Larry Butler, Elliot Milk. A's, Telementes, second place with Tom Sawyer winning that. Mixed doubles cricket. Top four, Brian Blake and Callie West, Jackie Quinn and Wes Lippert. Second place goes to Sandy Haas and Joe Cheney, with Steve Brown and Paula Murphy winning that. Women's doubles cricket, top four, Sandy Hudson, Marilyn Pop, Candy Ellis, and Julie Shepley.
Julie Shepley, who's now in England.
Okay.
Hanging
Second
out
place
with Robbie.
going to Paula Murphy and Terry Geller. Callie West and Sandy Haas win women's doubles cricket.
Okay.
Men's doubles cricket, top four, John Sisson, Ken Weaver, and Steve Brown and Scott Frazier Jr. Second place, Darren Young and Larry Butler, with Tom Sawyer and Joe Cheney winning that one. Women's singles cricket, top four, Kelly West, Brenda Rausch. Second place, Paula Murphy, Sandy Hudson, women's singles cricket winner. Men's singles cricket, top four, Elliot Milk, Donnie Joe, Bill Davis second, with Tom Sawyer first. And you have a sportsmanship award. Goes to Joey Donuts Giamarino.
Yeah, I guess they called it the Chris Helms Sportsmanship Award, and I don't know if this is something new or anything, but it's kind of nice to see. Also, congrats to Tom Sawyer and Paula Murphy. They were the men's and women's MVP. We do have an update on Chris Helms. It looks like he's doing better. He's breathing on his own, which is good. Somebody posted a picture, and I just, whatever. It's just so sad.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
Chris is such a likable guy, and you see a tragedy like this, and you just want to throw up your hands and just
Yeah.
be like, oh my gosh. So let's talk about happier things. They also had the U.S. National.
Speaking of happier things, you just said it was a travesty, the U.S. Nationals.
Yeah. They only had like 27 guys.
Yeah.
I couldn't get to a qualifier. I didn't have one within 10 hours of me.
Really?
It's like you're going to pick a national team based on, if I happen to live in a place where, they support the ADO, great. Otherwise, you're out of luck.
Yeah.
They got to figure out a better way to do this. Maybe the thing to do is have regional finals that put you on the U.S. team. Like have one in each time zone.
So where were the tournaments held?
Well, they were in Denver. Well, the regionals are all over the country. The regional finals were all over the country.
Just not close to here.
Nobody wanted to play.
Oh, okay.
So, I was going to go down to Louisville, which is only like 6 hours, right? And it's a good thing I didn't go because they only had 3 people. So, poor Ryan Barnett drives from South Carolina to Louisville, Kentucky to play.
Really?
There's not enough people, so then the next day he drives down to Huntsville. And there's only 8 people, and they're all really good players. So, yeah, congratulations. Joe Cheney got through, and everybody else, too bad, so sad. And he drives back to South Carolina.
Really?
And it's like, what do you got to do to get on a national team? It's hard enough to play and win against everybody, but, it's not fair.
Yeah.
To pick a national team based on 27 people that show up in a country of I don't know how many million we are. It's a good thing that Larry Butler and Robbie Phillips won because they've been, 2 of the most consistent players this year, but it's a 4-person team.
Okay.
So they'll take the guys with the top 2 collection of 12 finishes this year. So it'll probably be Tom Sawyer and then somebody else. So luckily we'll have a good team, but it'd be better if we had 50 guys shooting it out instead of 27.
Yeah.
And I don't know how you're supposed to make that happen. So they need to come up with a better way of doing this. And I don't know. I'll figure something out. Because
so where was this tournament at?
It was in Denver.
Oh, it was also in
Denver.
Denver.
It was the Friday before the Colorado Open.
Oh, okay.
And it's just sort of like, I don't know. It's just depressing. Well, no,
right.
Because 27 guys.
Yeah.
27 guys. That's who you're going to pick your national team from. 27 guys. Are you kidding me?
What's it been in years past?
Of the 27 guys there, I could come up with 27 guys that weren't there that could, as a team, beat the 27 that were there. I guarantee you.
Right.
No problem at all.
Well, how many has it been in the past?
I don't know.
It's always been like this?
Well, it depends on... There's 4 nationals a year, right?
Yeah.
And you have to... advance through a regional final to get to the nationals, right? And for every 8 people in a regional final, 1 person goes. So if you do the math, if you have 100 people at the nationals, that means 800 people participated in the regional finals,
Right.
Because 1 out of every 8 goes. So if you have 32 people, 4 people end up going, which
Yeah.
is awesome. But you need league support, because the leagues will run local qualifiers and stuff. So instead of coming up with your whole entry fee, you put in $10. Whoever wins
Right.
gets their entry fee, stuff like that. So, and trying to do it here in Chicago is like pulling teeth.
Yeah, that's not going to
I
happen.
mean, well, why is it not going to happen?
Nobody wants to put it together.
I put it together and nobody wants to show up because they're all well. Okay. I mean, we know why they don't. So I started telling people, look, I'm not going to play. It's safe.
Oh, yes.
It's safe to come into the water
Right.
now, right?
Yeah.
They don't have that problem in New York. They have a tough region there with 4 of the top 10 guys in the country, and they have these regional finals where 2 of them don't get through.
Yeah.
They don't whine about it. It's like, okay, yeah, you got me this time, I'll get you next time. What's the big deal? But here, no, not so much. It's depressing. Let's cut to a commercial. We'll be back in a minute. Okay, we're back for what we're calling the second
Something,
half.
yeah. We're piecemealing it together.
Brought to you by the Dart Zone.
Stay in the zone.
TheDartZone.com is an official Cosmo distributor. We have odds.
Yes, but first, there's also a... you didn't say anything that happened in the Windy City Cup this weekend.
Right, well...
Since I wasn't there, I have no idea what happened. So could you please inform me?
Well, I'll tell you.
Was it a good turnout?
For the people that kind of play in their leagues and everything, the state championships mean something.
Yeah.
And it's more a pride thing than it is a money thing, because a lot of them probably don't pay a lot. And that's why, when I get results from state championships, I'll generally read them, even though they're not open.
Right.
Because... the first tournament I ever went to was the Illinois State Championship in 2002. So it's exactly 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Well, 10 years plus, whatever. So I've played in 10 of them. 2 as an amateur and 8 as a pro. And the first time I went, they had the semifinals on stage. Lumpy won it that year. And I think he played Bob Krugler in the semi, and then Ed DeBenke lost to Rich Brownless, who I haven't seen in years. Great player.
All right.
All of them great players. So I watched these guys, and, Jimmy DeMoore sat next to me and started explaining stuff, because I didn't know anything about anything, And they had 75 people watching, I think, watching the final 10 years ago. This year, I don't think we had 75 people playing, much less watching. And they changed the format last year. It used to be there was only one singles, just 501. Last year they added a 301 and a cricket.
Yeah.
So I successfully defended my cricket and 301 titles,
All right.
and then I won the 501 on Sunday.
Sweet.
So if Dayton Strawbridge is listening to the show, bring the trophy to Dayton.
Which one, the 501 trophy?
The 501 Traveling Trophy, apparently Dayton still has it.
Yeah.
For winning it a few years ago and absconding with it, so I want
He
it
didn't
back.
give it up for last year's
Don't make me come over there with, squad cars. Just bring it to the NWDS tournament.
Who'd you play in the finals of 501?
Brad Nichols. Brad
All right.
Nichols had beaten Bam Bam and Joey B. Croft, who has won it a couple of times. I beat Jimmy Damore, who's won it a couple of times. But then, some of the guys that usually show up on Sunday for the singles weren't there.
Okay.
Like ex-winners, like Lumpy wasn't there, Ray Carver wasn't there, Ethan Belchick wasn't there. And it was kind of like, geez, guys,
Yeah.
what's up?
Bad turnout?
Well, it used to be in March.
Right.
And now having it in April, I think, like you would rather sit and watch the Bears play Jacksonville.
It used to
They
be in
invented
March.
TiVo and DVRs. Yeah, the Cup used to be in March.
Okay.
And now it's in October. I don't
Right.
think
When you
that's
said
held then.
April, you confused me there for a
Well,
second.
April, March, whatever.
Didn't
End
they
of March,
switch it, but
beginning
then-
of April.
When's
they
the
switched.
Open?
It's like they canceled the Open.
Okay.
The Open used to be
That's
in the
what
fall.
That's what happened. They used to
Yeah.
have They used to have the Cup in the spring and the Open in the fall.
Yeah, and then they canceled the Open.
So now
due
they
to
just have the
lack
Cup
of-
in the fall.
Yeah,
Okay. I got it.
kind of a buzzkill.
I got it.
But
All right.
I did sweep the singles.
Which is nice.
I don't know. It was a good tune-up, I think, for Dayton. I may play
Yeah.
good this weekend. I'm hoping anyway. However,
We have some odds.
we do have odds. We went to the official Dart Talk odds-making committee, and so here are the official. And we do have seeds. This is a seeded event. We
Yes.
have 32 seeds. They're going to be in 16 groups. So 2 seeds a round-robin group on Saturday, and then the top half of the group will play big money long format knockout on Sunday, and then the lower half of the round robin will play for less money, but still I think it's 1,000 of the winner.
Right.
So it's still pretty good.
Yeah.
Actually, that's the third highest paying tournament singles payout of the year.
For the consolation,
not counting
whatever you
PDC,
call it.
So 5th or 6th highest.
For
and
the
that's for the
knockout bracket?
consolation.
Yeah.
For the knockout. So gotta like that. So go give
All
it
right.
a rip.
Well, first of all, there's 4 players off the board, which I would like an explanation for.
Well, okay. The 4 players off the board are Dan Lawby Sr., Scott Wollaston, Bob Seneve, and myself.
Correct.
I am off the board because I couldn't get enough people on the committee to
'Cause you were
quote
on
me
the committee.
odds that weren't like, well, you're going to win.
Yeah.
Which you guys got to stop doing that. When I send something, just give me your honest opinion. Don't just blow smoke
Right.
at me because, now I'm off the board. So there goes all
Right.
my dreams of big money. Bob Seneve's off the board because he's coming off of an injury and he hasn't played in about a month.
All right.
So I'm not sure how healthy he would be.
So
as
you
a
didn't want to
handicapper,
put? We
no.
couldn't even put him in the field.
No. Well, he's in the field. He's like the number 3 seed, I think.
No, I mean in the field of odds.
No, you can't put him in the field. He's a seeded player,
Oh, that's true.
so he's off the board.
Yeah.
It's like in the NFL when the starting
No, yeah.
quarterback is hurt. Oh,
Off.
we don't know what's on.
Off.
The board. Yeah, we ain't taking bets on this. No way. Scott Wollaston and Dan Lawby Sr. are off the board. Wollaston's off the board because nobody's seen him play practically all year.
Okay.
So there's not enough information. So it's sort of like coming off an injury.
Yeah.
And same with Dan Lawby Sr. I mean, he showed up at the PDC in Chicago, but outside of that, I haven't seen him anywhere. So we can't accurately assess the state of his game.
Makes sense to me.
Fair, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So with that being said, at 3-1, your favorite is Darren Young.
Right, and Darren should be the favorite. He was in the final of all 3 PDC events.
Yeah.
He won the tournament that's most like this is the Sorrentos Memorial Tournament in Montreal, and he's won that I think 3 or 4 years in a row. Where it's round robin Saturday, knockout Sunday.
3-1's a good price, actually.
Well, you got to encourage some action.
Yeah.
Right? So, who else are you going to make the favorite? I mean, I made, the committee made Larry 6-1. And, calling it the Larry Living Room Open probably isn't fair.
Right.
But, I mean, the fact that he possibly could be walking to the venue since he's the only pro darter that lives in Dayton and the tournament happens to be in Dayton,
right.
Got to give the guy some guff about that. But he's coming off, he's been playing well. He won the last PDC. He qualified for the U.S. team, came in second out of the 27 guys. Lost to Robbie Phillips, but, Robbie's going to be in England, or Robbie would be probably pretty good favorite.
Yeah.
This weekend. So, we'll go through the we also have, I went through the brackets for the Winmau Masters. We'll give everybody a preview of that in a little bit. Larry 6-1,
Larry
sure.
6-1. Then you got, we have Jim Widmeyer at 8-1 all by himself.
Well, the reason that Jimmy's like the third favorite is based kind of more on consistency and experience. Where, you look at the big tournaments, Jimmy's always in the money. He may not win, but he's always up there. He's used to playing these round-robin formats. He's done, very well in them in the past. And I don't know. If you look at Jimmy's record the last few years, he tends to do good in January. He tends to do good, like, in kind of in the middle of summer, and then he usually does good in the fall. I mean, he's kind of a seasonal guy. I don't know if that has anything to do with his work schedule or anything, but I factored that in. So he's got a little bit of a better price or worse price, better price. The guys that are 10-1 is sort of,
Gordon Dixon, Dan Olson, Jay Barlow, Andre Carmen, and Ray Carver.
Well, yeah. So
all listed at 10-1.
Well, yeah, you got 3 Canadians that are used to playing this kind of format. Andre Carmen won the PDC in London.
Yeah.
Dan Olson has been in the money in all of them, and those guys, those 3 Canadians, are all used to playing, the round robin format and stuff like that.
Right.
So you have to, even though that they may not be seeded as high as other guys, you couldn't just go by seeding.
Exactly.
Stuff like that. And Gordon Dixon's 10-1 simply because I want to irritate him and light a fire under his butt.
Because he thinks he should be like 6-1?
I didn't ask him.
Oh, okay.
Gordon didn't. Gordon wasn't part of the
committee.
Not this time.
No.
And then Ray Carver is another guy that he almost should be 11-1 because I was going to put him in the group of 12-1 with all the Bidartuals. All these guys that are playing a lot of soft tip that are now going to steel. I don't know how easy that is. Especially if you're playing like more than half the time playing soft tip. I think it's difficult when you're playing soft tip, which is like half of its cricket, to go play steel where you have to double out every leg.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure the soft tip gives them much of an advantage. So yeah, making Ray 10-1. That's
they get down in the odds a little bit then.
Well, that's a nod to Ray's experience, and everybody kind of thinks Ray kind of like if he puts his mind to it, he'll win.
Yeah.
So maybe this will motivate him. I don't know. I guess we shouldn't be motivating him. We should have made him like even money.
Exactly.
Let sleeping dogs lie. Sleeping darters lie.
Johnny Kaczynski, which we're going to have an update sometime soon.
Yeah, I did. Somebody said that we actually got a verbal commitment from one of the guys in Chicago. He's like, I'm going to wait till the end and put in a really big bid just so I can
have the scissors.
And I'm like, hey, go ahead, do it. You could drive out to Pennsylvania with me.
Yeah.
And, bring the scissors along. Just don't do it in the car, So.
Exactly. You have to wait.
So hopefully you guys, I did post a link that'll get you right to Johnny's donation page. Don't forget we're trying to, raise $5,000 so I can get a haircut.
Exactly. And
that
help
everybody.
Toys for Tots.
And help Toys for Tots, yeah, of course.
Which is actually more important
than
you getting the haircut. But
it depends on whether or not you ask my mother.
Right.
She can't wait.
Right.
She may even, get my brother to, look at the live stream or something. She's excited.
All right, good. So Johnny K, Steve Brown, Jeremiah Miller, and Bill Davis are 12-1.
12-1. And, Jeremiah Millar is not seated that high, but he just won the King of the Hill in Ontario over the weekend, which is a pretty big steel tip,
All right.
like kind of a one-day shoot in Ontario, Canada. So I would think that bodes well for him. I had a long talk with Bill Davis in Vegas, and I kind of like where his head's at. He seems very comfortable. So you might see some real good darts from Bill Davis this weekend. Steve Brown, I don't know what to say about Steve. I mean, anybody who stands 8 feet behind the line on a steel board, I think, has got a screw loose.
Right.
But you never count the guy out. He's one of the. He's sort of the American equivalent of like Ronnie Baxter. He's been a pro for so long that you just
can't count him out.
You really can't count the guy out.
Right.
12-1, I think, is kind of a bargain. Who else we got?
And then 15-1, Ralph McCool, Ryan Barnett, Phil Srotka, and Bob Miskey.
Right, and they all have done really well this year in the PDC tournaments, playing the long format 5-0.
Right.
So you gotta factor that in. And I wasn't gonna go down. So we have 16 people with odds, and 4 people off the board.
Right.
So there's 124 people
Left.
in the field.
At 23-1 odds.
Field's 23-1.
That's about right, though.
Yeah. I mean, there's some real good players in the field that
Yeah.
I'm sure would love to bet on themselves.
Exactly.
And so let them. I mean, you got to set the odds somewhere. I'm
Right.
not going to go odds on 50 people because I don't know everybody, and nobody knows them all.
No.
So
This is fair.
well, yeah. I mean, it's a start. I mean, if we have 4 or 5 of these after a year, we'll probably get some pretty accurate prices on people.
Right.
Plus, you should see how they do it in England. I mean, the vigorish is insane. I mean, the way the bookies make out like bandits.
Well, of course.
No, I mean, it's like way high.
For what?
Compared to like, well, you bet more than I do. It just seems really high. Like one guy's 15-8, but then his opponent's going to be like 10-15 or something.
Right.
Or 15-10. Like you can't make that much on whoever wins.
Well, no, but baseball's a lot like that too, though. You always have 3-1.
Yeah, but then the other team should be 1-3, but they're not.
Well, it's slightly lower.
This one is majorly. Like if you're 15-1, Phil Taylor's like 1-15, but then you're only like 5-1.
Okay. Well, yeah, that's
so how do you make
that's a little
anything?
ridiculous.
Yeah, so I don't.
Yeah.
English bookies. I don't know how that works.
Right.
I don't know. We'll post this on the Dart Talk Facebook page if anybody wants to see it. If I don't know if Jason Watt's going. He's probably part of the field. Roger Carter's not on the list, so Steve got killed at Darts Live. I was in the money twice. Okay, see, I shouldn't even look in the chat room. This is just guys taking cheap shots at me.
Right.
All right, let us take another break, and we'll be right back. Alrighty, we are back. Brought to you by the Dart Zone.
Stay in the zone.
TheDartZone.com is an official Cosmo distributor. Also thanks Windy City Fabricators and Redwood Darts.
What segment are we on?
Well, I'll tell you.
Have
You
we
know,
lost track?
I went through the Winmaw Masters draw, and let me tell you, I am just astounded at how bad it is for the Americans.
Yeah.
There's an American playing one of... There's 16 seeds. Now, what are the odds? And there's what? 11? Count the names there. How many Americans are there? 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 11 Americans, counting Chris White. There's 11 Americans in a field of more than 256, and you've got an American playing the 1 seed, the 2 seed, the 3 seed, the 4 seed, the 5 seed, and the 6 seed.
Right. And then 8,
before the round of
14,
128.
Yeah.
In the round of 128. What are the odds of that happening?
Well, no, or 64.
Well,
A lot of them
okay. Is it
round
okay.
of 64.
Well, I mean, everybody's going to be in a group with a seed. There's 16 groups.
Yeah.
So, you know, you're going to see a seed somewhere. But you know, I kind of went through this thing. Like Tommy Curtin is going to see the 1 seed in the round of 64. Robbie Phillips is going to see the 6 seed in the round of 128, and then Howard Myers, if he gets through, is going to play the winner of that.
Right.
Right. Joe Huffman sees the 8 seed in the round of 64. That's about the best you could hope for, is to wait and play a seed late, and you're not going to see one any later than the round of 64. So I'd have to say that would be a match I'd really like to watch. You know,
Joe Huffman.
Yeah, and Christian Kist won the Lakeside last year.
Okay.
So he's the BDO world champion. I don't know why he's the 8th seed, but so but you know, Joe's been playing good this year. I haven't really seen him much, but those two have a very similar style of playing. That would be a great match to watch. So hopefully you know, we'll see that one on YouTube. DJ Sayer is going to see the 5 seed in the round of 128. So maybe he gets a warm-up match before he plays them. I didn't see any American with a play-in.
Okay.
So he's got 1 match before the 5 seed. Tom Sawyer's got the 4 seed in the round of 64, so he'll have a couple of warm-up matches. Jimmy Widd sees the 3 seed in the round of 128. I'd have to say that's a bad draw.
That's a bad draw, yeah.
How is Jimmy Widmer going to the Masters when he's on the list to be in...
what do we have, a 12 to 1?
How is that possible? How can he play
you
in
have him
both
at 8
of
to
them?
1.
Is he on here?
Oh, yeah, there he is.
Okay. Wow, Jimmy Widmer is my new hero.
He's
He
gonna
can
be at
play
2
a
places at
tournament
once.
in England and Ohio in the same weekend. I would have to imagine he pulled out of
Out of
that.
this.
I would have to think he pulled out of that. So okay, forget Wid. Yeah, he saw his draw and said, "I'm playing in Ohio."
Yeah.
Right,
you
that's
blame
kinda
him?
weird. No, I mean, because if you knock off the 3 seed, you got smooth sailing.
Yeah.
You're the seed when you knock them off. So, I mean, seeding doesn't really mean that much. But you look at some of these draws, and it looks to me like they cooked the books a little bit.
Right.
But I've been saying this thing's rigged anyway.
Yeah.
Right? Who's Cheney got?
Gary Stone, 14th seed in the round of 64.
That is, by definition, a good draw.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know.
It's-
All these unseeded players, I don't know. I'm sure a lot of them are outstanding players and everything. But that's kind of strange. I have to not look in the chat room. That's the trick. Guys are taking cheap shots at me. Chris White sees the 6th seed in the round of 64. Okay.
Martin Phillips, right.
Yeah, he can handle that. Brandon Rogers, 15 seed in the round of 64.
The best draw of the bunch.
Best draw of the bunch. And Pankhouse got the 2 seed in the round of 64. So, at least, they're not seeing him in the first round. That's about all you can say for that.
Right.
But the fact that there's an American in the top 6 brackets, I don't know about that. Actually, 2 if you count Howard Myers. So there's 2 Americans with the 6th seed.
Right.
So I don't know. Handicapping this, I'd really like to see Huffman and Christian Kiss play. I think that'd be good. Sawyer and Eccles would be a fun one to watch because Sawyer's playing about as well as anybody right now. Cheney's been playing well all year. I think if it was cricket, he'd have a better chance. I don't know if Joe's as confident in his 0-1 game as he is in cricket.
Yeah.
Because these Tennessee guys are cricket playing fools, I tell you. They're nutsy cricket players, man. They do all sorts of whacked out stuff. Yeah, Brandon the Show Rogers. You kind of like that draw. 15 seed.
Yeah, in the round of 64.
So, if the seeds go through and you beat them, you got the 2 seed in the round of 32.
Yeah.
And you get by him, and I think, is there one more round before? It's weird how they do this because they have guys with buys to the top 16.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It's a strange tournament.
How do you do that?
If you're in the top 8 of the BDO, you get a buy into the money.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
That seems kind of
bad.
Yeah.
You think? I mean, think about it. Everybody else has got to play 5 matches, and you just kind of sit around and wait.
Yeah.
What is that? 8 guys.
Unfair.
You think? It's by definition unfair.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, like the NFL, right? You get if you're one of the top 2 teams, you get a 1-week bye.
Right.
Over 4 other teams. These guys get a 5-match bye over 250 people.
Exactly.
What is this?
That's ridiculous. I don't like it.
It used to be on Mondays. You could go to a golf tournament and try to qualify to get in the main field. So there were all these guys that kind of lived in campers, like the caddies.
Yeah.
And would drive from tournament to tournament to tournament.
Try and qualify on Monday.
And try to qualify to play the weekend, right? At some point, I think it was in the 70s, they went to the all-exempt tour, where they started with the Q school, and then it was like, oh, no more this Monday morning qualifying. Now it's like you qualify for the whole year in December, and if not, well, there's the nationwide tour, which they didn't have back in the day. And I think it's a little more equitable to have those Monday morning. You get more Cinderella stories that way. I think it's better to give local guys a chance to play in. And then there's sponsor exemptions where, you give one to Annika Sorenstam because, whatever.
Because they want her playing in the tournament. Right.
You may as well give one to Jessica Simpson
Yeah.
or was it Mila Kunis, who's the sexiest girl alive now?
Kunis?
Mila Kunis?
Yeah. That's just from Esquire magazine.
Well, they're an authority.
Yes, they are.
So they're one of the authorities. But I mean, let's put her in the field. See how she does. Put her in a dart tournament. Watch her ratings go up.
For sure.
I'm still convinced.
Good luck at that, though.
Well, the PDC tried to get a women's world championship going, and I swear they had it rigged for this young blonde Russian girl to win.
Yeah.
And when Stacy Bromberg beat her, that they were like, okay, we're not going to do this anymore.
That was it?
And I'm kind of like, okay, I understand what sells and what doesn't sell, but people want to see good darts.
Exactly.
And, give a sponsor's exemption to, I don't know, Shannon Doherty or I don't know,
right.
Whoever. What difference does it
Anna
make?
Kournikova.
Pamela Sue Anderson?
Yeah.
Whatever. Anna Kournikova.
Right.
Right.
Give her an exemption.
Yeah, give her an exemption.
Yeah.
You want to sell tickets.
Right.
And then, make sure you stream the first round live, and modify the dress code.
Yes.
Right.
For all sponsor exemptions, their dress code is modified.
Just makes me ill sometimes. The San Francisco Open, I mean, we can't really preview that because it's all the West Coast people, and
we don't watch
shouldn't
the
they
West
be going
Coast?
to Dayton?
Why?
Because Dayton pays like $48,000 to the winner, and I'm pretty sure the other one doesn't. Okay, now you got people ripping on the Yanks in the chat room. What is with the chat room today? We can't get the pop-out chat, and now it's almost as bad as the chat I was watching when I was watching the darts today. You should see what people say in these chat rooms.
Yeah.
You talk about cocktail courage. When you're on a computer and a guy's on another continent, you could pretty much say
say
whatever
whatever-
you
yeah,
want with total
exactly.
impunity, and you don't have to use your real name. You have
Right.
total anonymity, right? So it's sort of like at some point, you got to go full screen and just ignore this stuff because, it's kind of odd.
Liquid courage.
I still can't get over how bad the sound is today. I don't know what happened.
It sounds fine to me.
Yeah, but
It's not just doesn't sound fine to anybody else.
I don't know. Let's wrap it up for today. We'll be back next week. We'll have results from everywhere.
Yeah.
San Francisco. Then we'll have
Dayton.
a live report. There's a couple of things everybody needs to know. They will be live streaming this Dayton event. I'll post a link on the Dart Talk Facebook page so you guys can watch it. They're going to be streaming it Friday night, I believe, Saturday and Sunday, or Friday night and Sunday. I don't know, but as soon as I find out, I will post that. And I will also post links to I don't know if it's the BBC or ESPN3 that's doing the Winwa Masters. I'll have all those links on the Dart Talk Facebook page for you guys probably on Thursday. But by all means, check the link for the donation to the Toys for Tots, and let's get rolling on that. We'll have an update on that next week, and we'll let everybody know kind of where we stand. Because honestly, I don't know.
Okay.
Somebody said that,
we don't have an update
somebody
yet.
saes they're posting names when they get donations and stuff. So
All right.
his total goal is like $25,000, which I think is awesome. It's very ambitious. James
By when?
Wade
By
won
Christmas?
tonight. It's before Christmas. I think it's like December 2nd.
Okay.
So that should be good. Anyway, thanks everybody in the chat room around the world, everybody listening. I will try to clean up the audio for the podcast and stuff, and we'll Dart Talk to everybody next week.
Thanks for listening.
All right, everybody take care.